was saying, sometimes my children watch shows on the computer, and the computer room is right next to the living room, and we are really able to hear what goes on these television shows. So they're watching My Little Pony, right? And it's the one with the little actual ponies, not the ones, not the teenage ponies who are standing on 2 feet and actually like human beings. That show I don't let them watch. But now it seems as though I can't let them watch the regular My Little Pony. In fact, they might not. Television might be xed out completely because you know what, I have what is known as the ability to discern. So I can watch some television programs and not fall in, not be brainwashed, not be manipulated, because I have discernment. I know how to not fall for the trap that they put out in this programming. I have that ability. So, yeah, I watch TV, and it's actually good for me because I can see what's out there in the world. I can see what's going on, and I can discern it. I can pick it apart. I can analyze it in a way that will do very little damage to my psyche. I don't fall for the okie doke. So, you know, I'm just made more aware by the programming and the brainwashing techniques of these corporations and the the country's financiers, the Bilderberg and all that, those type of people. So, but and I am in the process of teaching my children how to discern things. But they're still kids. They're still impressionable. It's, their minds are fertile and ripe and available to soak up everything. So there's a pony. They have male ponies in the show, and apparently one of the male ponies was dressing up like a girl, acting like a girl. And we're talking about young ponies, like I don't know. It's fiction. It's fake, but they're kids basically. So this young male pony is pretending to be a girl and dressing up like a girl, and my kids are seeing this, and I hear this. The girl ponies. Oh, he was pretending to be a girl, and I'm like, yo, y'all gotta shut that off immediately. So they had to turn it off. I said, no, we're not learning about boys dressing up as girls in that way. I can do that myself. I don't need society to handle that one for me. I got it. So that's another way they prey on your children. They want your children to be gay, as many of them as possible. They want your children to be sterile and gay, and they want to, because it's all part of the plan for gun population control. And your children are the actual targets, more so than adults, because we're adults already. We've done what we're going to do. We probably had as many kids as we're going to have, so they can sterilize us, but we already have children, so they had to come up after our children. That's where it starts. They want to sterilize my baby back there. Mm-hmm. That's why my kids don't go to school. My kids are homeschooled, and they don't use wireless devices at the house because wireless devices, they give off radiation. So anyway, they're trying to program your children to be gay, point blank, period. It's an indoctrination program. That's why in California they have this new law that whereas the school districts have to implement a new sex ed program that will talk about gender identity and gayness and LGBTQ and all that stuff. They want to implement that into the sex ed program. Now, you know, from what I done a little bit of research on it, and it turns out one of these uh, companies have a curriculum set out for it. It's called I forgot what the name of the program is. Dang it, I got to get back to y'all about that. Um, where so they have a curriculum where they're teaching kids how to play with sex toys. They're teaching them how to. They're telling them that it's okay to use a condom when you're having anal sex, which is BS. It's not. Condoms aren't designed for that. So they're giving incorrect medical information. Um, they're teaching about, oh, you can be whatever you want to be sexually, and you don't have to be a girl or a boy. You can be a you can be a light pole or whatever. You can do this. You can do that. I don't need anybody talking to my children about that. I don't need that. I got that. If I want them to know about gay shit, then I will talk to them about that. I will talk to them about the reality of it. A lot of which I will not get into here because my daughter, even though she's 2 years old, only 2 years old, is very intelligent and smart and picks up on things. Baby, ain't that right? You got an attitude? What's wrong, baby? Who did it? Who did it? Who? Mommy? Who did it? Who? Mommy? She got one little attitude this morning, but she's drinking the coconut water she stole from me. She had an attitude about that. I ended up having to give her my coconut water, and she's still not satisfied. Anyway, you know, the things that are going on at these schools nowadays is just ridiculous. It's like nasty. A lot of nasty stuff going on. Fellatio contests, twerking contests, uh, doing stuff that two kids should not be doing all over the place. It's just crazy. Like when I was in school, I had a hard time. You had to really be on point and have good game to even get a phone number from a girl, let alone be able to touch her. When I was some of these kids' ages, we used to run around talking about girls had cooties and stuff like that. I mean, I played house with girls sometimes, sure, but that's from maybe girls in your neighborhood that were your age, and you guys used to y'all hang out and you know y'all play house because you see your parents doing it, so you want to implement your parents. She wants to implement her parents, and they think it's cute and funny, and y'all do stuff. You know, nothing too far. Just the regular old touching and fondling. You know, that's common. But when I went to school, we wasn't even doing that. Sometimes you run around and talk about they got cooties. Oh, you got cooties. You got cooties, and all that stuff. You know, I mean, and I'm talking about elementary school. in junior school, junior high school, or middle school, you know, you might play show me mine, I'll show you yours, or wait, I think I said that wrong. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, hide and go get it, and all that stuff. But it was still like it was still like a taboo. It was still like you knew it was inappropriate. You knew that you can get in trouble, and that's as far as it went. Like you touch something, you show a little something, you know, and you had to talk a good game as a boy. You had to talk a good game. You had to be like Playboy Mac of the Year to get some of these girls to do stuff. Now, now the girls, it seems, are praying, going after the boys and doing things to them, and it's just so easy now. It seems like for kids to get it cracking, and it's because of the programming, the TV programming, the sex ed programming, and all this other stuff. Like teachers aren't as morally grounded. It seems like so there's just a lot of things working against the children. Um, Man, it's crazy. You know, it's wild. It's wild. Like flyers for glacial, like it's crazy. It's the things that you hear about these teachers, and these teachers sometimes, man, these these female teachers going after little boys, you know, getting pregnant by them and doing all this nasty stuff. Like, man, it it's just your kids are being attacked from every angle, every angle. You let them out of your sight. You let your guard down. It's open season. It's open season on the children. You know, we didn't have posters when I was in school showing a boy and a girl kissing. You didn't see any type of that propaganda when I was in school. Now they're showing. I worked at a school, doing electrical work. We would go after school when the kids left, and then we do our work during the swing shift. And I saw these posters that had two boys kissing, and they were talking about tolerance and like what? I wanted to rip that poster down, man. It was crazy, and we didn't have things like that. We didn't have posters like that for boys and girls. When a boy and a girl want to get, they didn't show a boy and a girl kissing. When I was in school, they didn't show any children kissing each other. So why is it okay now to show two boys kissing? So these are the things that I'm telling you, is indoctrination into gaydom. All right, I'm not a homophobe. It's just it's nasty. It's unnatural. I'm sorry to any homosexuals out there. To me, it's just nasty and inappropriate. It's point blank in the period. One second here. I'm just gonna stare at my child when I go through this. What's up, baby? You okay? What's wrong? You sad? Huh? Mommy did it? What'd she do? Huh? You gotta say it louder, baby. How did mommy make you cry? On the phone? Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I'll talk to her about it, okay? That was fun. Anyway, so yeah, I'll need I'll need an LGBT member to come to my classroom as a specialist to tell my kids nothing about anything sexual. Now, like I said, I'm not a homophobe. I have no fear of homosexuals. Let's get that straight. As a matter of fact, when I was 17 and I was still ripping and running the streets, uh, as a bad little boy, me and the homie Buddy decided that we were gonna sneak into Universal Studios, without paying, because we did silly stuff like that sometimes. But first we went to City Walk, which is right next to Universal Studios. It's like a little promenade where you walk around and look at girls, and girls are out there, and it's a beautiful thing, man. I used to run up. We used to run up there all the time as kids to try to, bump a girl. They call it. That just means you bump a girl, you just get a phone number. That's all that means. You bump the phones, whatever. Anyway, but this is of course before cell phones were big, so we weren't bumping technically then, but we were getting numbers, you know. But anyway, a child predator. Now, I was 16 or 17. I may not have looked like a. I may not have looked that young. I think I had a little beard going on, a little mustache, but you could tell I was a kid. Anyway, uh, me and Buddy, we walked past a group of dudes or a couple dudes, and we walked past, and I feel something touch my butt, and I turn around, and this homosexual has a toothy grin on his face, looking at me like I'm a whole snack. Let me tell you something. The first thing I felt, what I felt at that time was not fear. It was anger. I hauled off, hit the dude, knocked him out, and then me and Buddy ran because security was like close by. But I knocked him out. If I was afraid of him, I would have ran immediately. But I wasn't afraid. I knocked him out. I was angry. He violated me, so I binked him. Another time, I'm fresh out the army. Well, no, I'm not fresh out the army. I had just joined the army. I'm going on my first leave back here in Cali, And the first thing I do, I just got back from Korea. I did a tour in Korea. The first thing I do is I go see about a young woman that was ripe and ready for me as soon as I got off the plane. So I took a cab from my mom's house. This was before the time of Ubers and flips and lips and lifts and juggernauts and whatever the hell else they got going on with these car share ride programs. So I had to take a cab because it was too late for a bus because LA's, you know, public transportation system sucks. So I go see about her. You know, we have a discussion about, you know, sausage and buns and things like that. And so the next morning, I leave her house to come back home, and the buses are running, so I catch the bus. So I get off on my stop near the house, but I didn't want to stop directly on the block that would take me straight to my house. I wanted to do a little walking. I wanted to walk a little bit, so I got off a few stops earlier than I needed to, just so I can take a brisk walk and get some air. It was hot, so I had to take off my shirt, and your boy was ripped back then. I was in shape, you know what I'm saying? Had my little four and a half pack going in, my 5.5 pack, uh, chiseled arms, chiseled chest. I was getting it popping. I ain't gonna lie. I also wanted to maybe see if I could, you know, see if some young women might wanna stop and talk to me, and that's why I wanted to walk too. I ain't gonna lie. You know, you walk down Crenshaw Boulevard at a certain time of day, you might see something. So that's what I was looking for, you know. And I did catch a couple, but when I get close to the street that I need to turn down to get home, uh, some dudes in the car drive by and say, "Hey, yo, what's up?" And I'm looking, and I was like, and they're waving, and I thought, oh, okay, I might know these cats. So they bust a Yui, and I get to the corner, right? I'm getting ready to cross the street, and they pull up right in front of me, and it turns out, hey, I don't know these cats. And the driver rolls his window down talking about, hey, baby, you want to ride? It was like four dudes in the car, four. I looked at bruh, I said, man, if you don't get the F out of here, and I walked toward them. I walked toward their car that had four dudes in it, not away, toward. Like, look, you better if you don't. I said if you don't get the F out of here, all right. My adrenaline's pumping because I'm angry, and I was ready to get busy with these dudes. I was ready. I was ready to knock a block or two off with these hands. You know, I didn't have no heater or nothing like that, so all I had were these hands to defend myself with, and I was ready. I was ready. I was ready to knock a block off, but they sped off. So it appears that they were heterophobe. Now, I wasn't a homophobe. If I was a homophobe, I would have ran, but I didn't run. I went toward the action. I went towards the danger, the potential danger that these suckers presented to me. Mad, disrespectful suckers. So yeah, I'd like to think that I'm not afraid of homosexuals. As a matter of fact, one of the dudes I grew up with, who who was super hyper feminine, we were cool. He was, as a matter of fact, he was the brother of an autistic fellow that I grew up with as well, that I've known since he was 8, and I was a little older, like 15 or something like that. You know, unfortunately, the autistic young man passed away, but his brother was mad feminine, and we used to wonder, like, yo, is this dude, a little light in the loafers or whatever? And for the longest time, he hadn't acted on that, but he turned out to be that way. So, and we were cool. I wasn't afraid of him. You know, he was a brother to me. You know, he was a great guy. So, and he never tried me. So that he was very respectful. He's just a good dude. You know, so I ain't no homophobe. And I like to think that I matured in my anger issues somewhat. I ain't as I don't fly off the handle as quickly as I used to. Anyway, so the point is, it's not that I don't want my children to learn about homosexuality and all that stuff. It's that I will dictate how and when they learn it and who they learn it from. I don't need you, LGBT, to come talk to my children about homosexuality. They don't need to know anything about gender identity because they have theirs already. All my daughters are girls, and my son is a boy. And I will raise them as such. I will raise them to behave. My girls, I will teach them to behave and act as girls, as young ladies, because I have the right, and I will teach my son and show my son how to behave and act like a young man, a gentleman, a man, a provider, an alpha male. That's right, an alpha male. We're a dying breed, but that's what it is. You heard me? So yeah, not because I'm a homophobe, but because that's how you that's how you advance society. Women be women, men be men. They get together, a man and a woman, and they multiply. They have children. They don't freeze eggs. They don't freeze sperm, um, and give the sperm to surrogate mothers so that two gay dudes can have a kid together to corrupt. That's right. Yeah, I said it. You know, and that's another thing. And this is what this leads to. So you indoctrinate the children at a young age, which is predatory behavior, to be gay and to accept gaydom. But and then you allow two homosexuals to adopt children of the same sex. So now you're showing your adopted child how to be gay like you, and that's not right. It don't match. It don't mix. Two dudes don't mix. I'm sorry, it does not. Two girls don't mix. It doesn't anatomically. It does not compute. Now you can do all these sex changes and install uteruses in your body and try to have children. It's still disgusting. That's what it is. Yeah, that's right. I said it. It's disgusting. Where you guys decide, especially dudes. I'm sorry, dudes that decide to put their parts in parts that they don't belong. It's nasty, disgusting. I can't imagine it. It's an exit only. Exit only. And what exits out of there is waste. So you putting it you putting your member in a waste chute where that stuff come out of, It's just nasty, man. But you want to show my children that it's okay to do that by bringing the LGBTQ and showing people sex toys and hey, you can do it like this and do it like that there. Like that's illegal. That should be illegal to tell people about that. I'm sorry. To put that on children? No, it's wrong. So that's predatory behavior. And how often do you hear about a homosexual couple adopting children, and then it is discovered that they are um, uh, molesting that child, or they're killing that child. You know, they're preying upon the child. It's you know, it's a hot mess. So that is a danger. It's dangerous to have a homosexual couple have children, because I tell you this, there's a video out there where a guy goes undercover into a gay bar, and he gets these homosexual men to open up about their childhoods and about why they're attracted to the same sex. And all the ones that he showed in the video were at some point molested, sexually abused as children. Yep. They weren't born that way. And they're well aware of that. These homosexual men that he interviewed, he talked to, they're well aware that you cannot be born gay. They said it. Most of them said it. No, I wasn't born that way. Some grown man who was 40 years old was doing stuff to me. And so I started doing stuff to children. And I still do stuff today. They sat there and told this man that they themselves have molested children. If you want to see that video, it's disturbing, but it's good information. If you want to see that video, go to Hassan Campbell's page. You'll find it, where he talks about, you know, homosexuals were once sexually abused when they were children. So now you have a gay couple who might have been touched inappropriately and molested and sexually abused when they were kids. Now they have a kid that they can. Now they're adopting children with another man who might have that same issue. And they both, as adults, might have sexually abused children because they were sexually abused. But now they have a carte blanche with a child they adopted or had with surrogate mothers. Now they had that child to themselves all the time under their care. Predatory behavior. You know, I saw a video where there's a young black boy, and these two white homosexual men, they love adopting black boys. I don't know what that is. That's disgusting too. That's another form of predatory behavior. White folks adopting black kids and abusing the shit out of them, abusing them, treating them like dogs. That shit's real. So, yeah, in this video, there's two gay guys are facing each other, and in between them is a gay boy. No, a gay boy. I'm sorry, not a gay boy, a black boy. And these two men repeatedly kiss each other in the mouth in front of this boy, and the boy's laughing and giggling and wiggling and jiggling, and they keep kissing each other, and then they try to kiss the boy, and the boy's like, no, no, hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no, hell no, to the no, no, no. Boy said no, even though he was laughing and stuff. Listen, man, that's disgusting, man. So so it was a black boy, two white dudes, and it's on Facebook. And people were in the comments thinking this shit is cute. and adorable. Oh, don't take them in for the blah blah blah, and they don't see the psychological damage they're doing to this boy. What are they doing to that boy at home? That's nasty, man. Mac nasty. I don't care. I don't care. Mac nasty. Period. So yeah, you have that. All angles, man. We got to do our utmost to keep our children safe. That's why I homeschool my kids. You know, and I do it in a way where the state can stay out of my business. I go through a charter school, and it's something that people might want to look into. If you're in the state of California, they fund homeschooling programs, so you can take your kids and take them out of school if you're able. I know it's difficult in California. You basically have to be on a one income family to make this work, because the mother or the father has to stay home with the child to teach them. And fortunately, I have a job that allows me to do that, even though I live in freaking LA, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I could very well have my kids go to school so that my wife can go find a job to make it easier financially on us. But it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make to allow my children the best possible education and the best safety. You know. So yeah, my kids go to classes 2 days a week, and it's a state funded program. So we get a stipend every semester. And for the big girls, they get around $1,400 a semester that they can use for school supplies, where they can take classes with vendors that are a part of the list, and then you can add vendors too if that person is willing to take payment that way from the state. They get paid after the session ends. So if they're willing to wait, and most people that I approach about using the vendor program to pay for classes, they're more than willing. They're happy to, because they're doing it for the children. All right. And these classes that I take my kids to, one is a STEAM class where they learn. My daughter's 4 years old, in the fourth grade next year. This year she's in the third grade, and for the second half of the semester she's gonna be learning pre-algebra. And I didn't learn pre-algebra until I was in freaking college. I had to get GED. I got kicked out of school, high school. I got kicked out, and so I kept getting kicked out of high schools, and eventually I was like, I went to Job Corps and got my GED. Shout out to Job Corps. Anyway, so I take my kids to the STEAM class. They can do they're doing pre-algebra and science for the second half of the semester, and then they go on Fridays. They go to mastery quest, which is just a fun little, it's a fun way of learning. And then if I wanted to, I could stay there with them the whole time and sit there and watch them and all that other stuff. So it's a really good program. They're only there for 4.5 hours. They're only at STEAM for 2.5 hours. So they get basically 7 hours of schooling a week, not in a day, a week. In those other days, we teach our children the way we want to teach them, using a curriculum that we choose and implement. They'll turn in samples, and we always give more than enough samples every month. So for the state, and the iLead program, they handle the attendance and all that stuff. We just go. My wife has to go in and do the attendance, and then they format it and do all that, and they handle all that stuff with the state. There is testing that you have to do, and my oldest daughter, she tested above her grade level, so she's doing really well. She's doing pretty good. She's 8 years old, Yeah, she'll be in the fourth grade next year, but she's on the fourth grade level already. So you know, and they hang out with kids. They hang out with the kids of other homeschool parents. Do play dates and things like that. So it's good. I could take them to my the owner of the gym I go to said that they'll become vendors so that my kids can go take classes there under the vendor program. It, it, I'm taking charge of my children's lives because that's what I have to do, and I'm willing. And there's some sacrifices. Like I said, I have to work and bust my butt off, doing this electrical work, you know. And I wrote a book. It's called The Seeds of Dark Matter Disease. It's out now on Amazon. Go check that out. And, my wife is going to start doing something, where she can bring in a little income and be at home with the kids. And that's how we get down. And my goal is to eventually not have to go to work as an electrician within the next couple of years, and I'll just be writing. I'll be an author. That'll be my job, and I can travel with my kids to gain inspiration and implement the story I have in my head now, and be inspired to do new stories. But my kids are always going to be with me. They're always going to be in my life. I'm always going to, you know, I'm going to be their major influence, me and their mother. So, schools, um, those who prey on the children's innocence, doctors, um, television programming, all these things are attacking your children all at once. Wireless devices, trying to sterilize them. I touched on 5G. Go back and look at that video. Um, the food, they, and that goes along with TV programming sometimes. These commercials, man, they entice your children with this food. They want to eat McDonald's, all this other stuff. They eating chicken nuggets and it's just all this disgusting Franken food. They go into the store and they see all this sweet, sugary shit stuff that they're lining the shelves, and they want this, they want that, and you just have to tell them no. You know, every now and then they can have some sweets, something that we make at home, or something at the farmers market that we know and trust the the people who provide it. And that's another thing. We get all our food pretty much from the farmers market, and we know the farmers. We have a good rapport with them. You know, that's another way they prey on your kids is through the food, what they put in their mouths. All this sugary stuff, all this high fructose corn syrup, uh, you know, snackables and lunchables and crackables and dip dappables and pastry puffs and all this other crap with all this white sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and just all the things that are poisoning your body and your children's bodies. No, I don't. We don't get down like that. No, no, no. We don't do it. Our children do not eat that crap. We try not to let them, you know. But sometimes they go to their grandmother's house and the grandmother wants to shower them with candy, and that's like cheat day. We'll let them have that, you know. And it shows you how addictive this crap is, because my children, before their grandmother started giving them this stuff, they were happy with just eating fruit, like strawberries and peaches and plums. That was their candy to them. It still is. It still is their candy. They'll eat apple. They love apples. They love that, and they love vegetables. They eat sprouts. They eat kale, greens. Whenever I make kale, my children, oh, I want some more kale. I want some more kale. I want some more. And they eat salads with. They eat live food along with the other food. So they were content with candy, with fruit as a sweet. They hadn't had cake for a couple years of their lives. All because my mom makes a bomb cake. You know what I'm saying? We go to her house and have dinner, and I'll be like, no, they can't have none. Now we let them have it. You know, but once that started happening, they were addicted already. It takes one bite, and I never realized how easy it was because I was a kid. We used to eat sweets all the time, so it's like I had like 8 cavities when I was 8 years old. It was just a common thing. We go down to the corner store, or the corner store. We had this. We lived in Compton. We go around the corner, and the candy lady. That's you call her candy lady, and she sold candy and chili cheese Fritos and all that at her house. But we were free, young kids. You know, we were running around, ripping, running in the neighborhood. Didn't have to worry about being kidnapped like that. You know, we playing football and basketball in the street. Cars would wait for us to get out the way. It was just that was life as a child. And even though I was going to get going to Candy Lady and getting chili cheese Fritos and some M&Ms and some chips, we did that. It was fun. We play outside. We get a little hungry. We go to Candy Lady, get some chili cheese Fritos, get $1. You know what I'm saying? We get $1, we get a whole bunch of stuff. But even back then, they were coming after the kids and getting them addicted to this sugar crack, and they were downplaying fat. Turns out fat is much healthier than sugar. Animal fat, not just nut oil. That'll be a whole nother topic for another day. Talking about that, talking about real food and what food is and having a balanced diet. But that's another form of weaponry against the children, getting them addicted to this crap. They go to school in the morning. They go to school in the morning. They get a free breakfast. They get a donut. You know what I'm saying? Or they get a croissant sandwich or some microwave cheese melt bull crap. Yeah. So, in the era of child predatory behavior, we have to do whatever we can to protect our children. They're going to be coming after our guns, our firearms, full bore. Our last form of defense against a tyrannical government. And it's working because there's too many idiots running around being sold a bill of goods and falling for it. I don't go for the okie doke. I can see right through the programming as soon as they implement it. Like I was talking about that Ian Bryan, Woolen Bylan, whatever his name is, the Marine that ran up in. Come on, man. And I was looking at the news, and it was just like a soap opera. The way that they were running this whole thing, all the music and the dramatic music, and the witnesses I saw no tears. Anyway, I talked about that yesterday, so go check that video out. Marine vet talking about what I think about that situation and what surrounds it. Anyway, folkers, protect your children. Do not give up your means of defense against child predators, because that's what the ultimate goal is. The ultimate goal is they want our children. All right, they don't want our children to have children, and they only want certain children to have children, and they want our children to be their toys and to manipulate and play with, and we can't let that happen. We can't. And it's all a very slow and deliberate attack from many angles. So, protect your children at all costs. Next, I'll be talking about the the illusion they're pushing regarding toxic masculinity. That crap. Now that's the attack on the alpha male, and I'll be talking about the attack against the alpha male next time. All right, peace.